It's week 4, and in honor of it being week 4, my dog is going to run in and make a lot of jingly jangly noises. That's right. That's what you're going to do. It's week 4, and in honor of week 4, I'm going to talk about 4 football games. Because that's all the football games that I watched this week. I watched 4. First game I watched Broncos Jets because I am a masochist. That game was god-awful. It may have overtaken the last worst game I watched, which was also a Jets game. I think that was Jets-Giants last year when Tommy DeVito had to come in for the Giants. And I was like, are they just like finding guys at the Home Depot parking lot and letting them play quarterback? That game was terrible. I think the final score of that game was 6-9. The final score of this game was 9-10. I'm pretty sure the Broncos had like -7 yards at halftime and they still won. It was pretty bleak. I think Bo Nix might be the worst professional quarterback I've ever seen based on one game. But it was a bad game. He was not good. Aaron Rodgers is looking fun and frisky, but they just are not pulling their shit together. And I don't have answers for the Jets, and I don't want to give answers to the Jets because I want the Jets to lose. I'm very happy that the Jets lost that game. The Jets should be really embarrassed that they lost that game. Game number 2 that I watched, Chiefs game. You can see my thoughts on the Chiefs game in my reaction video to the Chiefs game. You know, I will say this, Mahomes performed a lot better as the night went on. I said in the video that he didn't have a whole lot of scramble in him, which is still true. His O-line is falling down on him literally, and he was having trouble really responding to that in a timely fashion, but he was doing better at it by the end of the game, which I think is what won him the game. Also, I don't know how the Chargers just like collapsed. Like, they were doing great at the beginning. Nothing. Third game, Bills game. And in the immortal words of Dan Campbell,
I don't want to talk about it.
That was embarrassing. And I don't know where we go from there. The defense was not good. And looking at the injury report, I keep blaming this on injuries, but look, we're missing very important parts of our defense. Our safeties are just bad to start with. Our linebackers are great, but injured. And our cornerbacks are great, but that doesn't do us any good against a run game, at which point you need linebackers, you need safeties, and you definitely need a better defensive line than what we've been showing the last few weeks. And if you look at our injury report for what's been going on at practice this week, we are now down 2 tackles. Ed Oliver hurt his hamstring after Deion Dawkins hurt his hamstring, but he's playing again, sort of. So O-line might be a mess too. It's just, it would be nice to have a full team. But who does at this point? Injuries across the league are brutal. It's just been really depressing to see. The Dolphins game apparently led to a really unfortunate injury too, which, I think everybody who had to watch that game injured their eyeballs by having to witness that mess. So, the Bills did not play great, but our division is looking not good. So I think I saw something saying our chances of going to the playoffs are something like 98%. It's not because we showed that we were so great this past week, but our record is helping us out a lot right now when our competitors are the Patriots, the Jets, and the Tua-less Dolphins. Fourth game I watched, I really only technically watched the second half of, and that was the Seahawks-Lions game. And I'm mad at myself for not watching that entire game because it was easily the best football I've watched all season long. Both sides were playing great. They got a little tuckered out by the end. But like the third quarter when I came in, man, both teams were playing gangbusters. And I got to watch that fun trick play with Jared Goff catching the touchdown pass from Amon-Ra St. Brown.
To Goff! Who had that?
They're a team that should be doing trick plays. The Bills are not a team that should be doing trick plays. We are not a trick play built machine. Also, Jared Goff was 18 for 18, which was really fun and stressful for me watching from home because I really wanted him to be without any incompletions by the end of the game. Once they said, like, oh, he's 16 for 16, he's 17 for 17, I was like, But then he said in an interview after the game that he wasn't even 100% sure. So hopefully he was playing with a little bit less stress than I was watching from home. So those are my 4 games for week 4. Maybe I'll watch the Amazon game tonight, so it'll be 5 for week 5. That's really best I'm going to be able to do unless I start recording games, which I'm not paying for Sunday Ticket. So I got to get a lot more views before I can pay for Sunday Ticket. Game tonight is Bucks Falcons, I think, which might actually be an interesting game. I'm curious to see how the Bucks keep doing, and the Falcons have pulled out some victories, or at least been really close to victories, and I've been kind of surprised by how well they've been doing. So that could be a pretty well matched game. Could be fun to watch. I might watch some of that. We'll see. And on that short note, go Bills.
Come on, bro.